Well, there's some tasty teaching going on at Lakewood Ranch at the USF Culinary Innovation Lab. And now an internationally acclaimed cake designer is coming to share her skills, and we're so excited about it. Julie Defons from Portugal is here to teach us some cake decorating tips. And now, Julie, when you talk about cakes, your name comes up all the time, and you're really renowned throughout the world. So how did you end up on the Sun Coast?
Well, I started vacationing here when my parents came a couple years ago, and they're actually moving here. And every time we get off the plane, we think, oh, you know, this is an amazing place to be, so I want to live here. And I'm making my way here very quickly, and I just think it's incredible.
Well, you know, that's amazing. Yeah. So we like that we attract you know, people of your caliber here, and I know that part of the thing is you brought different cakes that are on display, like the one over here to our left. Tell us about this cake.
So this is an example of my work and my sugar flowers and just a traditional wedding cake. Mm-hmm. But gorgeous. Yeah, I think there's so many amazing venues here for cakes like this,
and you can make a lot more.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've made crazy.
With her.
Yeah.
All right, so we know we're not as great, but we'd like you to teach us some of your cake decorating skills. So let's start off with some tips and what we could do.
Okay, so I brought some fondant roses, and I thought maybe we could play a little bit with fondant because it's something that you can do with your hands, and you don't need any tools. So if you just need a little bit, this little piece of fondant.
So this is actually icing.
This is edible. This is fondant icing.
Doesn't feel sticky or anything.
It doesn't feel sticky, but if your fingers start to get sticky, you can use some cornstarch. And what you do is you take the top tip and you want, like, almost like you're snapping, and you want to smooth out the top edge like this. And kind of, if you imagine the shape of a rose petal, this is going to be the center. So this one looks like it's been windswept a little. So you want to shape a little bit more.
Let me start over.
And then when you're ready, when you have a shape like this, you want to curl the right-hand corner if you're right-handed, or the left if you're left.
Bobeth.
I know.
Are you left-hand? Okay, so the other way around. And you just want to curl like this. And that is going to be the center
so you kind of
of your rose, right?
Look at it. Can you show it to the camera? That's amazing. It looks like a rose.
And then you just go building out the petals.
All right, let's see.
Same thing. So
in the corner. Mine doesn't look like it either.
The petals come from different pieces then.
Yep, so now I'm going to do another piece,
so
another
when
circle.
we look at something like this gorgeous cake, you hand rolled each of those flowers?
So this is a simple way to make a rose. Those roses probably took me about an hour for each one.
That was my next question.
Those roses are rolled out petal by petal, paper thin, and then I have a special veiner that makes the veins from the rose petal. And then when they dry, I paint them by hand, and I assemble each flower individually. So that is a lot of work.
That is
I can imagine. Speaking of a lot of work, you also have a book that you give tips about, and talk about your life as a decorator. Tell me about the book.
So I've got 3 books written in Portuguese in Portugal. My third one is about wedding cakes, and I'm currently writing a wedding cake book for America.
Oh,
in English.
Yeah.
In English.
In English. So hopefully in 2018, I will be able to send you all a copy.
Oh, it goes around there.
Are we doing the right thing?
I'm just trying to make it.
Yes, so the second
one, and I did a trick, I didn't explain it. I curled back the edges a little on the top just because that looks more natural for me.
Oh, you tricky
So that's a little tricky thing.
So you leave the bottom larger
You leave the bottom larger, and then you just place it around the first half. And I usually cover the first seam. So
man, you're really
just like
good.
That.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't realize how good until you try to do it
Yes,
yourself.
I agree. This is very
difficult. It took me a while. This is not as easy as I make it
Why did you
look.
decide to do this? At what point did you think, I'm talented with my fingers and icing? And
I was a fine arts major, so I was always really creative, and I was always in the kitchen with my mom and my grandmother, and it was a hobby. And about 7 years ago, I took a Wilton course, the master course, and I fell in love with it. And at the time, I owned a magazine. I was in publishing, and my husband was like, when you're done, you have to go back to your job. And I came back with this huge cake, and he said, you know what, maybe we should reconsider. And literally overnight, I just switched business.
Wow.
That's
That
crazy.
was
So
it,
you
yeah.
really have only been doing this
7 years.
7 years. That's
Yeah.
not a lot in the grand
when
scheme.
and when I say I'm not exaggerating, her name is all over cake decorating books.
Yes, I agree.
Well, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to show our work. I want to show mine off first because I figure there won't be any standards set yet.
Okay, I'm a little shocked,
Oh, I
Beth, because
okay.
you're usually really good at this
Yes,
stuff.
you are.
That one is not so hot. Nothing personal.
Well, I didn't bring the sample of the first one I ever made. So
Okay,
I'm not
that's
being
fair.
She
fair,
makes me
'cause-
feel better. Show
That's
yours.
fair.
Yours doesn't look good either.
Now that you mention it.
Exactly.
Mine looks a little
I
lonely.
really
That's
like
pretty.
mine.
Linda, the two Lindas
The
looks
two Lindas
nice.
did
Linda's
better.
way ahead. You're the winner.
Multicolored here.
Very
Now there's
good.
pressure for me to show mine, so that's mine.
Oh,
Look
look
at yours.
that.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would be how they're supposed to
Keep
look.
it.
Yeah.
Look, these are hers.
Maybe this is better to see. Those are the ones I made
That's what we're
last
aiming
night
at.
for all of you. Yeah.
Those are lovely.
Those are
Okay.
amazing.
And if you want, you can eat them, but
All right,
what
well,
a
we want to
waste.
thank you and welcome you to the Suncoast. And if you guys want to get more information, there is a cake decorating seminar Friday at USF Culinary Innovation Lab, and it's going to be on Main Street in Lakewood Ranch. For more information, you can go to Julie Defense, I said it right,
Yeah, you did.
.com. Next, we're going to do something with the circus. We're going to combine the chorus of the circus, and we'll give you a preview of their latest show. We'll be right back.